Wow.
Hello,
Hey,
everybody.
hi, everyone from everywhere in the world. This is just incredible. So great to see so many of you, and there's so many more sliding along to the side.
Sorry, we had a bit of a glitch right there at the start, but everyone's coming in now, and it's really beautiful. And
Yeah.
hello, everybody. Sorry, I just cut you off there, Bernie.
That's funny because technological hitches never happen when you try to invite 1,000 people from around the world to get together for a hangout. So there's a first for everything. If you don't already know her, the woman with the flaming red hair, who is, like me, the only person who's not on mute at the moment, is the co-founder and director of 1 Million Women. Let's give it up, COVID style, by rubbing elbows at the edge of the screen for Natalie Isaacs.
Hello, everybody. Thank you so much for joining our 1 Million Women big get together. It's really beautiful to see all your faces wherever you are in the world, whatever the time is. I hope that you are safe and you are well. And I would just, before we begin, I would just like to acknowledge the traditional owners of the land from where I speak, the Gadigal of the Eora Nation. I would like to pay my respects to the elders, both past and present. And I am talking to you from the northern beaches of Sydney. And it is nighttime here. It's 8 p.m. And this is the first of our LoveEarth series, which we will be bringing to you over the coming weeks and months. And you've already heard of, but my co-host tonight is the magnificent Bernie Hobbs. Bernie has been part of 1 Million Women since before we began 10 years ago. She has been such extraordinary support to me and to the 1 Million Women community. She is our go-to scientist, as she is an award-winning science reporter, and we just love her to bits. Over to you, Bernie.
Thanks, Nat. You are way too kind. Now, I have to say, I was watching the chat messages roll in. I'm probably going to tear up again now. Just sorry, from seeing how like women from Spain and Finland and Trinidad, Tobago and Dayton, Ohio, as well as all around Australia. And I know for all of us who are involved in 1 Million Women or like-minded groups and actions, we care deeply about what's happening to our planet. Honestly, this is mind-blowing that 1 million women has reached so many women all over the world. So thank you, thank you, thank you. I don't normally burst into tears during my introduction, but it's a lovely space to be able to do that. So as you know, this is a Zoom meeting, and if you're anything like me and lucky enough to still have a job in this crazy time, you will have become very familiar with Zoom meetings. But if you haven't, everyone's going to be kept on mute apart from Nat and I for the talky bits of the show, because it gets insane otherwise. And up the top right, you can either have speaker view or gallery view. So if you go to speaker view, you'll see who's ever speaking, me or Nat. And if you go to gallery view, you get to see the full picture and scroll through. We've got room for up to 1,000. Anyway, blah, blah, blah. Down the bottom, clearly most people already know about chat and how to use it, which has just been brilliant. But if you haven't used chat before, there's that cartoon box down the bottom. Just click on that and type a message, and you'll probably make me cry because all of the others have already. So tonight, as you know, and as you're like me keen for, is just about connecting with our community of women who really care about Earth and what we want to, what we can do to help move to a more sustainable lifestyle. And of course, we're not just closed off to women. We also have the men who support us here as well. So at least one of them I can see there. Hi, Chris. What we'll be doing tonight is having we're breaking it into 3 different sections. The first one is just a chance for you to connect with some of the other people who are here, and we're going to do that soon with some breakout rooms. The second is because it would have been completely insane to have a Q&A with you here, the hundreds and hundreds of you around the world. We've asked people to submit questions beforehand, so I'll be putting some of those questions to Nat, and we'll have a bit of a chance there. You'll get to hear some more from the incredibly powerful, world-changing and inspiring Natalie Isaacs. And finally, the last thing we want to do is give you a chance to connect with the rest of our community by writing some messages on some virtual post-it notes that the 1 Million Women team will then share with women all around the world. So the first thing we'd like to do, well, first of all, Nat, maybe
I was just going to jump in.
Good.
Can I jump in really quickly?
Please.
Can I interrupt you for a second? Just because you were just talking about, what we're all here for tonight, and the love of Earth is the theme that it's the theme for when I say tonight, I'm sorry, I'm talking about my night. I know it's very early for some people, but the theme is the love of Earth, and it actually it goes to the heart and soul of what 1 Million Women is all about. It truly underpins just about everything that we do, and we say that behavior change actually starts with the love of Earth, and that it's got to be that deep, and I know I'm always talking about this, but it's got to be that deep, powerful, crazy, palpable love, or the love that you have for your family and friends. And I thought that I had that. Before I started 1 Million Women, I thought that I was honestly the Earth Mother, because I used to love going to the ocean. I used to love lying on the beach. I loved
the hair, of course.
Yeah. But I used to love walking through a rainforest or feeling the mulch between my toes. And so I thought I was the Earth Mother. But it wasn't until I started 1 Million Women that I realized that, in fact, I was just taking from the earth. There wasn't actually that reciprocal love. It was just take, and enjoy it all, but not give back. What about the one-use plastic that I was using that was ending up in the ocean, or sitting under a beautiful tree and having a picnic, and that food waste that ended up in landfill. And I realized I needed to change that relationship so that it was a two-way thing. And I'd love everybody to think about that, your relationship with the earth. And Bernie, I'd love you to describe to me the way you feel about the earth. What is your relationship with it?
I have to say, like, as well as the love I feel for people in my life and what have you, the earth is, or any natural environment or any living thing, is what grounds me and makes me feel connected to a much bigger world. Like, no matter what craziness is going on in my head or how busy things are in my life, all I need to do is see something alive, a flower, a bird, like, or this afternoon, a pelican swimming down our river. And I just get transported, and I know that I'm part of something bigger. And for me, that is just what always grounds me and drives me to keep wanting to do things that are better for it. I mean, of course, my background is in science and stuff, but this goes way deeper than that. This is the touch point that we all have, because we are part of nature, and it's just this commonality and feeling of connection. What about you, Nat?
Yeah, well, that is exactly, I think that I changed the way that I live once I realized when that was all up here in my head, and I was articulating it, and I understood that how you live shapes the world. But it wasn't until I actually felt that in my heart, that how you live shapes the world and affects the earth. Right there in our hearts. That I realized that we're part of the earth. We're part of it, and what I do is being one with the earth. Yes.
So let's move we've had a bit of us, but what we want to do is give you a chance to connect with women, and it's going to be pretty random. You might be talking to someone from Nairobi, I just saw, or from, or anywhere. What we're going to do is ask you now to go into a small breakout group. So these aren't like breakout groups with a leader or anything. It's just a mini Zoom where you'll be invited to jump in with 3 or 4 other people, and we just want you to connect. Just do what we've done, how we all know how to do. I'm Bernie, I'm from Sydney, and maybe something about how you are being affected at the moment, or how you're feeling, what you see out your window. If you're in Sydney, it's going to be dark, but elsewhere there'll be more exciting things. So right now you're going to see an invitation. There'll be a pop-up asking you to join the breakout, and when you see that pop up, just press yes. Hopefully that's coming along for you soon. And then you'll press, do you get a link as well? No, I think
No,
once you press yes, you'll go into a small group with other people. Is that right?
Yep. It is. So Grace is doing it right now, and a pop-up will come up, and just, there it is. Join group. I'm going to join one. And
we can just jump in, say hi to people, and just get a bit of connection going around this gorgeous earth.
Hi everyone, so I'm Michaela. I work for the 1 Million Women team. If you've either not been able to join a chat or you didn't click on the right button, we can still have a chat here. If you want to put in the chat your name, where you're from, if you haven't already, and just tell us what's outside your window. So for us today, I had a lot of rain. I think most of the New South Wales area had a lot of rain today, so it's been a bit miserable. But chuck in the chat, what have you had today? What's been happening outside your window lately? Hello.
Hi. I think a couple of people are on mute.
Oh, okay. Are you able to unmute yourself? It should be in the bottom left-hand corner. Are you able to find it?
I'm right. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
So where is everybody?
Oh, I'm in Campbelltown, which is in Sydney.
Okay, wow. Was it raining for you today?
Where are you?
I'm in Paddington.
Just froze.
All right.
What does that mean?
Yeah. So yeah, did you have any issues getting on today?
No.
Okay, that's good.
All good.
That's good. All right, I'm sorry. I'm actually the one organizing all of this, so I've just got to go and shut this all down. But you two just chat. Yeah, I think that's like the beauty of it, meeting people from all over. All right.
Hello, Laura. Laura? Laura, can you hear?
Oh, she might be frozen, it looks like.
Oh.
It's a tough one with all the different internet connections. Usually you think that Australia has the worst.
Oh, do they?
Yeah, we have hopeless internet, I find.
Looks like only me.
Yeah. I'm still here with you. All right, I'm going to head back to the main session.
Okay, me too, yeah.
30 seconds.
Okay.
All right.
Everything will be alright.
Okay, we're back. Is Bernie back?
I am, but oh yeah, you're down at the bottom corner now.
Okay,
It takes a minute to find. That was so funny. I don't know about you, Nat, but you know how I said that bit about no one's in charge? As soon as there's a group, I had to take charge and hit everyone with questions. So
well, I was with a group that was Margaret and Beth was from the south of England. She's not on my screen here, but if anyone sees Beth, can you wave to her if she's on your screen? Beth has been put off. She's studying, and she lost her job because of COVID, and she's at home and she's safe, but yet she lost her job because of COVID. So Beth, if you can see us all, we're all waving to you. Let's all wave to Beth. And there I can see Margaret McGrath on my screen down the bottom. Margaret's from Bethlehem College, who is in my group. And it's really beautiful because Bethlehem College is a school here in Sydney. And a few years ago, oh, there's my daughter, Shay. Shay's in Sydney. Hello, I can see you. Bethlehem College was a beautiful school that came on board for our 10,000 Teens program when we first launched it, and they had some beautiful and school ambassadors. So I just want to do a big shout out to Margaret for being such a wonderful teacher and such a wonderful school. Okay, so that's that.
And I'm also going to do a shout out to Helen from Outer Hebrides in Scotland, who showed us her beautiful lake and sky view, and to Narges from Sydney, from Iran, but living in Sydney now studying sustainability, and Thea, who unfortunately we couldn't hear, but yeah, waving to Thea as well now. Thank you so much. I hope that was as lovely for all of you as it was clearly for us, and I hope that you didn't have total control freak talkers in your group, so everyone got to have a say, because I really feel for the people who are in Nat's and mine. But we're just going to move on now. Hopefully you're feeling a part of something big. I know I am, and the tears have started to slow. But we wanted to get a chance to ask some of the questions that you've got. Obviously we won't get to many, but Nat, I've got one for you. First up, it was a question that was a big one. And it's from someone who's obviously really wanting to make big change in her world and in her community as well. And she's saying, oh man, I have all the questions. If I had to choose just one, I'd love to know how Natalie found the courage to take 1 million women from concept to fruition, global fruition, and the steps she took to help her get there. So Nat, I'm giving you a minute to answer that. So good luck with that.
I'm never going to get that in a minute, so I just start talking. But look, I used to be a cosmetic. Thank you for that question, because you know I love those kind of questions. I used to be a cosmetics manufacturer, really, for my 24 years of my life, and my life was all about overpackaging, and I was really disconnected to this completely. I was one person. I thought, who am I? I can't make a difference. I don't understand climate change. It's too complex. It's too overwhelming. You know, I'll just leave it to somebody else. And I used to just think that because I didn't know enough, I didn't want to do anything, because I didn't want anyone to see or understand how silly I was, or you know, how stupid I was, because I didn't know enough about the issue. And when you're like that, it's so much easier to do nothing. But the really short story is, a little over a decade ago, I changed. I just changed. And there were things coming along for the year for that change. But the thing that actually did change me forever, it's really ridiculously simple. And some of you have heard me say it before, but I got our household electricity consumption down by 20%. And when I saw that I had saved all this money and all this pollution at the same time, I thought, oh my goodness, I am truly powerful. Imagine if millions of us just did that, got our electricity consumption down by 20%. Think how powerful, and think how we could change the world. And the thing is, when you do something small and you see a result, it builds your you become empowered. And I don't know if any of you have gone from inaction to action, or that feeling of inadequacy to empowerment. It's a beautiful thing. And I found my voice and I found my confidence. And I thought, if I can change my life, because I went and then got our household food waste down, I stopped over consuming, I literally changed my life. And I thought, if I can do that, then there must be millions and millions of women around the world that could do that too. And I've got to get my story out to them. And so, and with the help of Bernie and so many others, as you do.
So many others, yes. A lot, yeah.
A lot of others. But I started 1 Million Women. And I'm going really fast here because I want to get it all in before Bernie tells me it goes like this. But when I started 1 Million Women, honestly, I didn't know who the environment minister was. I didn't know any climate policy. I didn't really understand the whole concept of climate change. I didn't know how to start a movement. All I knew is what had happened to me, and that this needed to be about women, because women are the change makers of the world. And now, 10 years on, we are 960,000 women, and we would not be here without all of you, because you make 1 Million Women what it is. I just started it. You all keep the energy of it going.
Right, let's hear it for the 1 million, the 960,000 who are doing it. You rock. Thank you. And
Thank you.
Nat. Are you going to keep going?
I'm just going to keep going because I want to lead on from that to a question for you, Bernie, because I think that there's 960,000 of us. We're living climate action. We're using our voice. We're using our vote. We're using our influence. And a question that another question that came in that I'm going to throw to you is, and this was a theme with quite a few questions, so I've just kind of put that into one. What would be the most helpful 3 things that we can do for our planet, for our earth, for our world, whatever the words everybody used in this question, while we are in isolation at home?
Isn't it just such a perfect time to make, because we're always talking about how busy we are, how little time we've got. And this is one of those incredibly rare occasions where we actually have time to some of us to have a bit of a think. And I'm going to go with the same tried and true. I always bang on about the using more efficient appliances, more efficient light bulbs, all the usual stuff that we know, wasting less. Now, we all know this stuff, but I'm going to add in one thing which I think is the most important thing for this time, because we can't help it but reduce our production of emissions at the moment because we can't bloody go anywhere. And we, can't go out and shop so much. So we're eating, God, I have never eaten so much soup from scraps in my life, but I love it. The thing that I think is incredibly important for right now is that we do the most important thing for building community, which is be kind to ourselves. And we have to start with really not giving ourselves a hard time, and then spreading that amongst our family, amongst our friends. Like, it's not rocket science, but we know that to get out of this hot mess that we're in, we need community. Women are the community builders and the community growers, and to have community, you need connection. And the more kind-hearted you can be, the more open you can be about what's really going on for you, as long as you feel safe to do so. That's actually yes to all the light bulbs, yes to the cup waste, food waste and other waste, all of the usual things we know. But please, please take this time to really sit with your values, sit with what you know is important for life here on earth, for all of our lives, and go with that. So, bit of a rave, sorry, but it's one of those emotional nights for me.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna be a little drier because because you've said that covers the community bit, and you are so right. We need to be kinder to each other, and it's hard for me not to get emotional because on my screen, two down from me on my screen is my daughter, who has been in Spain and I keep bringing her up, but it was
There she is. Hi, Shane.
And she's in Spain with my beautiful sister-in-law, and yes. So anyway, so I'm going to add 3 other things to that list, because I think that some of the practical things that we can do while we're all at home, and some of the big things that really do help shape this world when it comes to climate action from our homes. Looking at your bank. And if your superannuation or whatever the equivalent is in your country, because, you know, when I started 1 Million Women, I was doing all this stuff, all of it. I would change the way I live. I stopped driving this huge gas guzzling car. I really thought I was doing everything I possibly could. I was the leader of 1 Million Women. And it wasn't until 3 years in that I even took a moment to look at who I was banking with and where my superannuation was going. It was one of those things that just kept going down to the bottom of the pile. And I was horrified to find that I was supporting a bank and financial institution that invests in fossil fuels. And honestly, I did my research. I found the bank and super that aligned with my values and ones that don't invest in fossil fuels. And it took me 3 minutes, honestly, 3 minutes to switch to a bank. And I feel so proud of myself because, and I wanted to shout it from the rooftops that I had done something so simple. So I think if there's one practical thing that you could do that is so powerful right now is do your research into who you're banking with and where your investments are, and just make sure that they are aligned with your values. And most importantly, that they don't invest in fossil fuels. Influence somebody else to do the same would be a big thing. And the third thing that I would say goes to the heart of another question that we were asked, which was how can individuals support change at a government and global government/global economy structure level to ensure we move back to normal in a more green and eco way. And so you know, 1 Million Women is this holistic approach. It is about how you live. It is about using your voice. It is about exercising your vote and your every dollar you spend and don't spend, and every bit of influence that you can have with the people around you. And now is a perfect time to research what your local politician, if you don't know this already, but what your local politician really believes in. Do they support stopping all new coal mines from being built? Do they support getting to 100% renewable energy as fast as they can? If they do, support them as much as you can. And if they don't, you have to tell them. And this is a perfect time to get those letter writing skills perfected and to really find your voice so that you can influence your local politician and let them know that they will not have your vote if they don't if they don't act on climate themselves. You know, be noisy, have conversations, tell everyone you know to be noisy too, because politicians are governed by its citizens, by us. And if enough of us put pressure on our politicians at the local level right through to the national level, change will happen, and it will happen faster. So all the things that we've got to do in our lives and the way that we live is important, and using our voice and our vote is the other thing. So Bernie, did you want to add anything there?
No, I think you've nailed it. And I will also just say, you're hearing from Nat, who is the poster girl for getting in people's ears and making change on a citywide, national and global stage. So don't feel bad if you feel like you're underperforming in comparison to Nat. Everyone feels like they're underperforming in comparison to Nat. But whatever you can do, maybe your strength is in talking to a politician in the street. Maybe your strength is in writing making a great sign for a protest or whatever. Whatever your strengths are, maybe it's just in having a great chat with your neighbour, talking about what you're doing, asking them how they're going. Listening is the most undervalued skill in any movement, I would say. So just sit with your values, like Nat said. think about what your strengths are and just go to town in whatever way you can, because it's going to take all of us, all 1 million plus, and all of our different ways of getting things done to get going. Plus, I have to say, we have had phenomenal suggestions from, talking through banks that are really ethical in the chat line. So we're capturing all of those. So please, you're not going to get a chance to jump in and ask questions here. I'm sorry, but please do, wherever you are, put your thoughts and questions on the chat line, and we would love to get to them as much as we possibly can. So Nat, we have one more question, which I think is a really, especially in, COVID times, we hear a lot about eating less meat, less red meat in particular being one way to help the environment. And this questioner asks, what are some good strategies to adapt to less meat and stay married when your spouse always wants to eat meat? So I'm going to jump in with my sneaky little bit.
I think
portion size. Just, you don't have to go without every night. If they're obsessed and addicted, you can just cut 1 night a week, 2 nights a week, however many nights you can get away with. And on the other nights, portion size, just less and less. But Nat, you're the one with the experience, so please, what do you reckon?
You know what, it is very hard to go without totally, and I think that if we could just cut our meat consumption in half, honestly, if we could just cut it in half, we don't have to do it all, and that would be an amazing thing, and it could just be one night where it's just completely vegetarian and ease the other person into it. But we did a poll the other week through the 1 Million Women community. Some of you may have done it, about what you would call yourself. And the majority of people, and I thought the majority of people would say they're vegetarians or they're vegans. And but the majority said they were flexitarians. And flexitarians or climatarians, which is eating less red meat. And something Bernie said before is, we don't ever feel you have to do it all. Just do one thing that helps you along this road of empowerment is a really good thing. And
that you'll get more strength from having community, having connection with other people who are also trying. So connect with the 1 Million community, 1 Million Women community, or any others you've got, just to keep you buoyed and keep you feeling part of this movement that's really changing our world.
And I really think that, I think it was something I said last week in my Earth Day address. I honestly believe that we have this opportunity right now while we're all locked down in our homes. And I know that there's some of us are feeling the effects of that so much more than the rest of us. I feel incredibly privileged because I live near a beach and I can go and walk along the beach every day. But I honestly feel that there is this opportunity that we have to build momentum. I read this morning that emissions are lower by 5% at the moment because everybody is in lockdown, and that we could emerge from all of this when we start to rebuild, and we could see a new way forward. And to quote what I was saying the other day, where I said where the love of earth and community becomes more important than the stuff. Than stuff, and that happiness isn't defined by material things, and a circular economy is one that we strive for. And I read this, like we put on 1 Million Facebook yesterday. Milan, which is preparing to ease its lockdown laws, is going to turn 35 kilometers of its city into walkways and cycle paths and to keep the emissions down. And I just think we have this window where, but it actually will need, all of us will need to be determined that we can switch this story and have a greener, have a less is more way of life where where experiences and the earth and community become much more important. And I'm quite optimistic about that.
I'm very hopeful about it, Nat. You're always going to have a more half full glass than I will. That's just how we roll. But I think there's this, I feel it in my neighbourhood in Sydney's inner west that we've got, like, people are enjoying the more basic life, the slower life when they're not homeschooling their children and working full time. But they're, you know, we're getting more in touch with things that aren't crazy, pacey stuff. So I really hope we can bring that. And it's fantastic to hear about things like Milan's infrastructure changes, which is just mind blowing. I love, even though my partner's German and we're supposed to go there for Christmas, I love that we can't travel internationally for a couple of years. I know it's hard, you know, with families being separated, but all I can think of is how great that is for our planet, and how if we get used to more communication like this, it could just really help us rebuild when we get back. And how incredible when we think of all the tiny, humble things we've been asking for, the tiny, humble changes we've been asking to be made socially and economically for the environment. Look at what the hell governments are capable of when there's an existential threat. So we know now that they can do major changes for economic reasons with the health outcome. But, you know, we know that this change can happen. So anyway, that's enough of me ranting, but I'm also really hopeful about this. But we do not want, this is an opportunity. And I know none of us are in the same situation. Some people are doing it really tough right now. Some people, like me, only lost half my job, so I'm okay. So we've just got to be really mindful of everyone is, but at any opportunity, do what we can to bring out the positive in this and just keep connecting. Now, I'm raving on a bit, but I want us to move to our next segment, if that's okay with you, Nat, where we're going to start sharing things with the greater community. But I do just have to say, I think it was Margaret who wrote in and said that the way she got her bloke off meat was because apparently fava beans are really good for men's virility. Okay, so look, that's something I never knew, probably still don't need to know, but for everyone else, that's a take home and you can just run with that one. So the next bit that we're going to do, we're inviting you to come to a virtual post-it note wall. And what we really want, this is incredibly ambitious, but what we really want you to do is take your post-it and put ideas up about things that you're doing or things that you want to do or actions that you're taking, making it really something that that tells the world what we are already doing and what you hope to achieve now and in the near future. Just a little action on your post-it note. No, I've totally lost my place, but that is what we're doing, isn't it, Nat?
Yeah, that's what we're doing. And what's going to come up on the chat is can everybody see the chat on the side there? I can see Michaela. Michaela, give me the thumbs up if you're going to put the link up. Michaela is putting a link up in the chat, and you'll see it there at the bottom of the chat.
Okay, good.
There's the link. So, okay, so everybody is to go to the link and wait before you go. And there's a whole heap of slides, and the slides are all the same. And you'll see they're little post-it notes, and you'll hop on a post-it note and just write something little. And but because there's so many of us, we put the post-it notes. You'll see at the top that it's just your last name, your surname, the first letter of your surname. You'll see between, I don't know, L and M or something, and just go to that post-it note, slide, and put your little comment on there. You'll still be able to hear us in the background. And then when we say, come back now, or come back whenever you want, but when we say come back, just close the screen and come back here.
So if you can't find... Now I remember what was happening. Thanks, Nat. That was actually my job to explain that. Sorry, everybody. But if we can hold off on putting any messages on at the moment, because the link is disappearing up the top of chat now. But if you go to Michaela's message in chat, which is a really long Google Doc link, copy that and paste it into a browser, and you will see that gorgeous page, that slideshow that Nat was talking about, and just scroll down till you get one with so I'm going to the one for people with H.
Off you go. You can go now.
Yeah,
and, if you're on a phone, an iPhone, I don't think it works on an iPhone. So just hang in here if you're on an iPhone, or put some comments in the chat. But if everybody goes, is everyone in?
Are
you in there, Bernie?
I'm in there. Sorry. I got really distracted by by going there, and okay. So just pick a surnames. Find your surname one. Just scroll up and down on the side. So I'm looking for E to K. That's me because I'm an H. So I'm going to start typing. So my action is
might be slow to load because there's so much traffic.
Oh, okay, yeah, it says it's reconnecting.
We had 1,000 register for this tonight, and I think that I'm not sure whether we were allowed to, everybody were allowed in, and I'm so sorry if that was the case. Oh, well, you're all in, but
it's okay. Oh, it says it's unavailable because of traffic. Okay.
Okay.
That's okay. You know what? We've got you all here anyway, and we've got this fantastic chat function anyway. So rather than lose the opportunity, how about we just get people to write a message in chat, which I know is not as exciting as having a little virtual post-it note, but it works. So just get on the chat, start typing your messages, and just tell us what you're doing. We can read all the exciting responses. Oh, okay. Okay, I'll just keep reading out ones. Someone's been living, Crazy Good's been living waste-free for a week. Rebecca's cycling more. Lenka is a dumpster diver. Caitlin's using up all the food. We've got, oh my God, you're such a fast typist. Educating my children to nurture the planet and all living things. Growing a veggie garden. Mine's not loading, okay. Composting, building raised beds for your garden. Oh my God, we're walking everywhere. I love the walking. You would think the walking would be enough to do something for the ISO belly, but no, it's not.
Oh,
what have you got? Switch off appliances not used.
Yeah,
good one. Husband and I think that one was pretty clean. Stopped eating meat. Avoiding palm oil.
Never going to the gym again.
Yeah. Got an extra worm farm, cycling and buying less, sharing easy tips.
Going climate neutral.
Trying a hair routine with bars rather than bottles. I love that. No new clothes.
Okay.
Oh, bought a beehive. Fantastic. Launching a sustainable puzzle business. That's fantastic. We would really love you just to take another minute or two to keep adding to that, because that's what.
Yeah, and we promise to capture all of this, and we will share it with you all. It's so beautiful.
It is. And isn't it great, actually? I'm someone who I had to cook dinner for my family from when I was 12, and there's no one who hates cooking more than me as a result. But in this time, because I'm not pressured, and my partner's working full-time, I'm working part-time, so I'm freaking cooking twice a day, and it's like it's a whole new world. We've saved so much money just shuffling up those leftovers left, right and centre. Lish Faya would be very proud of me, Nat, our Queen of Green.
Yeah, absolutely. Bernie, I think we're going to have to wrap up.
Okay, we do have to wrap up, but Nat, have you got one last piece of inspiration that you, oh my God, look at these coming through. It's insane. I'm probably going to cry again. Okay, one last piece of inspiration, Nat.
It is, well, first of all, thank you from the bottom of my heart, from deep in my soul. Thank you all for being part of 1 Million Women. It means everything to me. And I know that you can't, that you won't see everybody on the screen, but can my extraordinary 1 Million Women team please just wave? Just wave. Yeah.
Yay! Yay! Yay!
Because They're pretty amazing. And
Very incredible.
yeah. And so, so my piece of inspiration is never, ever, ever underestimate the power that we have as individuals and as a collective to change the world.
That's
it.
That's fantastic, Nat. And I also want to applaud the 1 Million Women team, but I also want to just acknowledge how brilliant this whole freaking Zoom has been, of women and men from all around the world who have taken time out to join in. They're not, you know, like, I just love what you are doing. You're already making a big difference. If you know someone who maybe isn't quite on board or wants some help and has some time to do some reading right now, let me go randomly to my bookshelf. What do you call this? Every Woman's Guide to a Sustainable Planet. Or to say planet. That's Natalie Isaacs, bottom left on my screen. You know what 1 Million Women has done for you. You know what it can do for others. Please stay involved on the socials. I say that because I'm not on them. I don't really know anything about them. But I know they're a great place. This is a community. It's a warm, welcoming, and very helpful community. So thank you for everything that you're already doing. And please just get out there, take care of yourselves, stay safe, stay sane. And thank you so much, Nat, and the 1 Million Women team for once again making it all rock. And
I have one more thing to say. Oh, sorry, no, go on. You finish. I interrupted you.
That's right. I was going to go, who loves the earth?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yay. We do. And I got two more things. One is we have been working on an app for the last 4 years, and we have finally launched it. It has had teething problems. If you're on an Android, you've still got a few teething problems, but otherwise, please download our app. Just go to the App Store. It's the number 1 Million Women. Download it, and it's another powerful, beautiful tool for you to use. Stay connected with all our campaigns and Instagram and Facebook and Twitter and blog, and be part of everything. I just want to finish off by saying that thank you, Bernie. Thank you, wonderful community. Yay, that's it. Yep, thank you, wonderful community. And we're going to end off tonight. We're going to do this again. So stay connected. We're going to send out an email very soon with the next chat, the next event. And so look out for that. Thank you so much. We are going to end off with the beautiful Katie Noonan. For those of you who live in Australia, you'll probably know who she is. For those of you who don't, she is a songbird. She is a magnificent Australian performer. And we did LoveEarth. The very start of this LoveEarth event series for us was last year in May, when 1 Million Women turned 10. And we celebrated with 2,600 people in a beautiful place in Sydney. And it was about the love of Earth. It was showcasing solutions for the world. We had performances from some legendary musicians. We had deep discussions and panel discussions and keynotes and stalls. And it was called the LoveEarth Festival. And Katie Noonan sang this song, which is for you all. And just sit back, close your eyes, and listen to the beautiful Katie Noonan singing I Am Woman. And we'll let that song say good night and good morning and hello and thank you to you all.
Thank you. Love your work.
Don't go.
The world, and the men, of course, too. I am woman. 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 Hear me roar. Numbers too big to ignore, and I know too much to go back and pretend. 'cause I've heard it all before, and I've been down there on the floor, and I know no one's gonna put me down again. Oh yes, I am wise, but it's wisdom born of pain. Yes, I've paid the price, but look at how much I have gained. If I have to, I can do anything. I am strong, I am invincible, I am woman, I am woman. You can bend but never break me, 'cause it only serves to make me more determined to achieve my final goal. And I come back even stronger, not a novice any longer, 'cause you've deepened that conviction in my soul. Oh yes, I am wise, but it's wisdom born of pain. Yes, I've paid the price, but look at how much I have gained. If I have to, I can do anything, 'cause I am strong, I am invincible, I am woman, I am woman, I am woman, watch me grow. See me standing toe to toe as I spread my loving arms around the land. But I'm still an embryo with a long, long way to go until I make my brother understand. Oh yes, I am wise, but it's wisdom born of pain. Yes, I've paid the price, but look at how much I have gained. If I have to, I can do anything, 'cause we are strong, we are invincible, we are woman, we are woman. So I'm a big fan of a big kumbaya style situation, and I reckon everyone that can talk can sing. So this is your part, and you can improvise as much as you like, really. But if we do this, we are woman. Your turn. We are woman. Beautiful. A little bit louder. We are woman. Yeah. We are woman. Beautiful. Thank you very much. Yay for Helen Reddy.